Hello there, how are you? Good, so I'm very happy you've joined me again for another video all about university. Today we're doing how to apply to university, which is the tricky bit, so bear with me. So far you've picked a subject, or at least a genre, you've read up on it, you've probably got a short list of a few unis you want to go to. Good, you're in a good position to apply for university. Which brings us to step one, the personal statement. When did you write your personal statement? Probably starting in August. Whoa, don't shout at me. Yes, August. Take my advice and start writing in August, write it over September and then send it off at the end of September, start of October. So how do you write a personal statement? Here is my quick little guide, although it's quite difficult because every subject at university is different. Start off with an introduction. It's got to be short and sweet. Leave out all the cheese and the cliches, they're not needed. Just sum up why you want to study whatever you want to study in about 3 lines, 2 sentences. It's just to break them in. The next bit is all about your subject. This should take up the vast majority of your personal statement, and I bet you if you've already written a couple of drafts it doesn't. Introduction, this bit, all the other little bits. This is where you put in everything to do with your subject, why you like your subject, the extra reading you've done around your subject, the things you've done with your subject. You've got to demonstrate what you did in the last video. For example, you've got a book on your subject, you read the book, it mentioned this thing, you wondered what that thing was, you googled it, you brought up a search result with another book, you then got that book and read that book, it was interesting, you discussed it with your teacher and they advised you to go and see an event. You went to an event, the event was amazing. It could have been a museum if you're doing history, or a show if you're doing dance. Essentially, in this big ginormous paragraph, which might be 2 paragraphs, you're showing them that you're very enthusiastic about your subject. The emphasis is on showing them, not explaining to them. You've got to make them go, ah, Kirsty likes history, unless your name isn't Kirsty and you're not taking history. A little side note I'm going to pop in here. If you have a book and you haven't read the book, do not write I have read this book and then plan to read it before university comes around, because you won't. If you seriously are in October, November right now and you need to write your personal statement and you think I haven't done anything, yes, you are a bit screwed. However, read a book, take a weekend out, watch some programs, just engulf yourself in your subjects. The next paragraph should be on your other subjects and school. But do not go saying I was a prefect, which shows as I'm very responsible, and also I do maths, which shows us I'm good with numbers. Because if you're applying to do history, nobody cares. They don't care, I don't care, nobody cares. Sorry to burst your bubble. Only mention it if it's relevant, because you've got such a little space in your personal statement, you cannot afford to put it there. When you do your UCAS application, which we'll come on to in a minute, and you'll give them all of your academic information, so don't waste time putting that in your personal statement. Only mention it if it's relevant to the subject you're applying for. Let me give you an example. You're applying to do biology. You could say I'm doing maths, which has helped with differentiation, and my psychology has helped because I have done lots with the brain and it's giving me another blah 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 blah, yeah? Which brings us on to a penultimate paragraph, which is extracurricular activities. Tell them about all the things you've done, but only if they relate to your subject. If you are applying to do computing, they don't care that you've been a ballet dancer for 6 years. You probably care, but they don't. You might want to put in a few sentences showing that you are a person and that you do things, but a personal statement is not a CV. It's not a list of everything you've achieved in your life. It is a statement of why you want to study that subject, why you are suitable for it. And finally, the conclusion, in which you just lump it all together, leaving out again the cheese, begging, and any promises of bribery. A few little extra things, you've got to make sure it flows. Everything you say has to be backed up with evidence. Preferably put the evidence in and make them assume the point. Don't worry about how long it is. Well, do worry, but not at the start. Just write out everything you could possibly think about putting in your personal statement as your first draft. Then shorten it, cut it down. The shortening is the home straight. Make sure every character, every space counts. Fit as much as you can into this personal statement. Then when you're 100% happy with it and you've shown it to every teacher that cares and a few that don't, and your family members and your grandparents and your dog, show a photocopy to your dog, then you're ready to put it on your UCAS application form, for which it probably won't fit and you'll probably have to change it again. And if you need any help whatsoever with your personal statement, you are very welcome to contact me. All the information is down in the description. One thing I did develop is a particular knack for shortening, which I'd be very happy to help anyone out with, because I'm a ninja. I'm like, but if you have any questions or want me to help you out with your PSs, look in the description for info. It's very exciting. Step 2, yep, I forgot as well that there were steps in this video. Your UCAS application. When do you do this? Well, whenever you're told to. You should be given some sort of keyword by your college or school. As soon as they give it to you, get on UCAS and get going with your application. Apart from the fact that the website tends to go down for maintenance every 5 minutes, UCAS largely covers all the little details of how to do it, so I'm not going to bore you with them now. I will just say a few little niggles which I found weren't explained very well. Firstly, when you send it off, your college or school has got to process it themselves. They've got to deal with references and check it and everything, which can take, you generally say, about 2 weeks. So when it comes to sending off your application, allow for that. Secondly, the earlier you send off your application, the earlier you will get replies. This is not a myth. You could find yourself with offers by the end of October, and most people haven't even logged onto UCAS yet. That is what I call legal cheating. And also, you don't have to put that you're organised in your personal statement, because it's kind of obvious. And my final piece of advice is to apply for 5 universities, even if you haven't got 5 universities, because you get 5 choices and that's completely free. You're allowed 5 choices. So the ones you want to go to, your backups and the buffer, or the why not one. Step 3, again, you probably forgot we were doing steps. Teacher's reference. For your teacher's reference, all you have to do is find out who's writing it and badger them. More than a badger badgering another badger. Don't organise yourself to the bone reading around your subject and writing your personal statement and UCAS application only for it to be stuck waiting for a teacher's reference for a couple of weeks, because it will drive you insane. It's another reason why you should apply early, because if you apply with the majority, that teacher has probably got to write 30 references. It takes them ages, slows it all down. Just politely mention things you've done. Make sure they know you well. If they already know you well, job done. But sometimes it can be a teacher that doesn't know you very well, in which they, oh God, that charity event I was organising yesterday, assuming you have actually organised a charity event, people, no lying in your personal statement. Ah, this book's really interesting, you know, oh, what do you think on this book? A book you're actually reading, don't lie on your personal statement. Honestly, make sure that they know how much work you're doing. And of course, don't spend too much on the bribe. No, seriously, don't do that. No, seriously. And finally, step 4. Click send, and then you can just sit back, relax, get on with your A-levels and laugh at the majority of your friends who still haven't sent off their applications, and just wave the offers you already have in their faces. No, don't do that. Well, not to your friends.